My relatives emptied my bank account, then had the nerve to ask for more. I stayed silent, biding my time until I filed a fraud report and watched officers escort them away, one after another. After our family gathering, I checked my balance. It was gone. My brother-in-law smirked. "We needed it more than you did." Shaking, I grabbed my bag and muttered, "Then you won't care what happens next." As they laughed, a deafening explosion rattled the house. The door burst open. "You're really upset about this?" Mara leaned against the counter, drink in hand, a smug smirk on her face. "Chill out. We needed it more than you." I stared, my finger hovering over the refresh button on my banking app. I'd tapped it 3 times already. The balance hadn't changed, $48.07. Yesterday it was over $14,000. "You did what?" My voice broke. Elise, my sister, chuckled from the sofa, lounging as if this were just another casual evening. "Don't be so theatrical," she said. "It's not like we stole anything. We're family. You wiped out my savings." "It's not wiping out if we'll pay it back," Mara said with a shrug. "Eventually?" I was speechless. I glanced at Mom, knitting quietly across the room, eyes fixed on her needles. "Mom?" I called sharply. "Did you know?" She sighed, like I'd accused her of burning dinner. "Honey, you're always so emotional. You've got a stable job, no debts, no kids, you live alone, you're fine." "So that makes it okay to rob me?" "Language, Ethan," Dad muttered, engrossed in his phone. I turned to Elise. "How did you even get access?" "You left your login details on the shared computer," she said, unapologetic. "Don't log in and walk away next time. Honestly, it's on you." My fault? I stopped myself, my hands balled into fists, my breathing shallow. "You're blowing this out of proportion," Mara said. "We didn't squander it on frivolous things. We paid bills, bought food, survived." "You didn't ask?" "We didn't think we needed to," Elise snapped. "You've been covering things for years. What's the difference if it's through you or from you?" I slowly lifted my bag. No one moved, no one apologized, no one even seemed shocked. "Leaving already?" Mom asked. "Yep," I said, zipping my jacket. "But I'll be in touch." "Don't be like that," Elise said, rolling her eyes. "We needed it more than you. That's just reality." I reached for the door and paused. "Then you won't mind what's coming." They laughed. But outside, something was already in motion. "You always pitch in. That's your role, right?" My cousin Lila caught up with me outside as I stormed to my car, fists clenched, jaw tight. "No," I mumbled, yanking the door open. "I heard what Elise said," she said carefully. "That was wrong." I didn't answer. If I spoke, I'd yell. This wasn't the first time. For years, I'd been the dependable one, the one with a steady job who didn't need handouts. Somehow, that made me the family's ATM. It started small, covering Elise's phone bill once, spotting Mara after he lost his job, paying for their kid's birthday gift I didn't offer to buy. They just assumed I would. They always made it feel like I owed them. "You're fortunate, Ethan," Mom would say, her tone sweet but firm. "You don't have the burdens your sister does. You're meant to share." "Family means helping each other," Dad said repeatedly. "You wouldn't be here without us." Translation: "We raised you, now hand over your money. I never asked for anything. Not when I was unemployed for 6 months, living on cheap meals. Not when I skipped trips to save. Not when I bailed Elise and Mara out of debt 2 years ago. They never paid me back. They never even said thank you." "You coming to the family reunion?" Elise asked last week. "Yeah," I said. "Should I bring anything?" Her reply was instant. "Just yourself and your card." I thought it was a joke. Now I know better. 2 days after the theft, Elise called. I didn't pick up. She called again. Then Mara texted, "Call her, man. She's losing it." On the 5th try, I answered. "Ethan," she said, voice shaky. "We've got a problem." "Oh, we do?" "Don't be like that. The electric company came today. We're way behind, and they'll cut us off by Monday." She paused. "We need your help." I laughed, a sharp, bitter sound. "You took my savings, and now you want more?" "It wasn't just for us," she shot back. "We helped Mom and Dad, too. Dad's truck broke down, remember?" "I wasn't told." "Because you always say no unless it's an emergency." "Elise," I said coldly, "this isn't just wrong. It's illegal. You're being dramatic. It's family. You didn't ask. We thought you'd be okay with it. You always help. That's your role, right?" There it was. That's your role. That night, I couldn't sleep, replaying every moment of the past 5 years. The favors, the small transfers, Mom's, "You're the reliable one," Elise's eye rolls when I hesitated. They never saw me as a brother, a son, a person, just a resource. 3 days later, Mom called. "We need to talk." She didn't ask about me, my job, or the missing money. We're having a family dinner. Come over tonight. My stomach churned. What's this really about? Ethan, she said softly, you're causing a lot of stress. I'm causing stress. Still, I went, hoping for answers, maybe an apology. There was none. When I arrived, Elise was there, arms crossed. Mara looked bored. Mom was in the kitchen. Dad sorted mail like it was just another day. So, Elise said as I sat, are we going to act mature or what? Depends, I said. Are you ready to admit to grand theft? She scoffed. God, you're so extra. It wasn't theft. It was family money. You always help, Mara added. You can afford it, so why the fuss? I didn't consent. You didn't say no either. Because I didn't know. Details, Elise muttered. I looked at Mom. You're fine with this? She avoided my gaze. We all agreed you could handle it. No one asked. We trusted you, Dad said. To do what's right. I stood. And what's right? Letting you rob me while smiling? Stop saying rob, Elise shouted. It was for the family. Then you won't mind the consequences? Mara's eyes narrowed. What's that supposed to mean? I didn't answer. Not yet. You don't get to play victim now. I walked in and everyone was already there. Mom set the table, dishes clattering louder than necessary. Dad lounged on the couch, scrolling through his phone. Elise stood by the window, tense. Mara sprawled at the table like he was waiting for a show, not facing the fallout of draining my life savings. Well, look who decided to show, Elise said dryly. I dropped my bag by the door, silent. Let's get this done, I muttered. Good, Mara grinned. Maybe we can stop pretending you were robbed. I was robbed. I sat. That was their cue. Mom cleared her throat. Ethan, we know you're upset, but you have to see our side. We were struggling. Elise and Mara were in deep. You've always been the steady one. We knew you'd come through. You didn't ask, I said, voice icy. You took. That's not family. That's theft. Elise rolled her eyes. We didn't blow it on junk. We used it for important things. No. I pulled a printed spreadsheet from my bag and slapped it on the table. $65 on cosmetics, $850 on delivery food, $2,200 for your car loan, Mara. Didn't think I'd look. Mara leaned forward, face dark. You dug through our accounts? Oh, I did more than that. I opened my laptop, showing a detailed, color-coded list of every transaction, all traceable. I filed a fraud report. They've already responded. Elise's eyes widened. You didn't. I did. You called the cops? She shrieked. I turned to Mom. Still think this is just family business? This is crazy, Dad snapped. You're putting your sister in jail? You put yourselves there. Then came the knock, 3 loud, authoritative bangs on the door. Elise paled. Mara jumped up. Mom gasped, stepping back. Dad froze. Open the door, a voice commanded. Financial Crimes Unit. Mara turned to me, voice low. Ethan, tell me you're not serious. I opened the door. 3 agents stepped in, badges visible. One held a clipboard, another a tablet. The third scanned the room. Ethan Carver? Yes. Thank you for your cooperation. We'll handle it from here. Mom covered her mouth. Elise sank into a chair, legs giving out. Mara stood, stunned. An agent faced them. You're persons of interest in a case of financial fraud and identity theft. Identity theft? Mom whispered. He's our son. Family doesn't make it legal, the agent said calmly. Please stay seated. I stepped back and watched. For the first time, no one interrupted me, mocked me, or laughed. Mom turned to me, tears streaming. Ethan, please. We didn't mean to hurt you. We were desperate. You've always been the strong one. I met her gaze. You don't get to cry now. She sobbed. Elise tried to speak but couldn't. Mara looked ready to bolt but sat under the agent's stare. You want to talk about family? I said, stepping forward. It's trust. It's respect. It's asking, not taking, not laughing while you drain me dry. They were silent. I grabbed my bag and turned to the lead agent. I'll be outside. This time they didn't stop me. You're free now, Ethan. Don't go back. I left the house quietly. No one followed. No one called after me. No guilt. No drama. No Elise shouting, "How could you?" Just the cold night air and the sound of tires on gravel as the agents led them out one by one. I didn't stay to watch. That night, I drove aimlessly, passing dark cafes and glowing gas stations, my phone buzzing nonstop in the passenger seat. I ignored every call. I didn't want apologies that sounded like excuses. By midnight, I parked outside the only place that ever felt safe, my grandmother's old house. She passed years ago, but I still had the key. She used to say, "Ethan, if they ever turn on you, come here." This door's always open. It was. I slept for 11 hours straight. No texts, no guilt, no weight crushing my chest like when I was around them. When I woke, I made coffee in a cracked mug and stood by the window, watching the sun rise over the garden fence she loved. For the first time in years, I could breathe. But the quiet didn't last. That afternoon, Dad emailed, "This has gone too far. You've shamed us all. Where's your loyalty?" I didn't reply. Then Elise texted, "Hope you're happy. They froze my accounts. Mara's under investigation at work. You destroyed our lives over a few bucks." A few bucks? Try tens of thousands. 5 years of silent sacrifice. Then Mom left a voicemail, voice trembling. "You didn't have to do it this way. We could have sorted it as a family. They're talking about charges, Ethan. We might lose the house." I replayed her words. We might lose the house. Suddenly, I wasn't angry or vengeful. I just didn't care. I'd lost my home years ago when they decided I was worth more as a bank than a son. 2 days later, a message came from someone unexpected. Mara's brother, Caleb. We barely spoke, maybe exchanged pleasantries at holidays. His text was brief. "FYI, Elise is blaming you. Says you approved the transfers. They've got a lawyer. Watch yourself." I almost laughed. Even now, she was spinning it. That night, I called my lawyer. "Send everything," I said. "We're not just pressing charges. I want a restraining order." Not all messages were hostile. A week later, an email arrived from Mara's sister, Nora. "We haven't talked in years, but you were right. About how they treated you, about how toxic it's become. I thought you were distant. Now I see you were brave." I stared at her words. Brave. No one in my family had ever called me that. One morning, my phone rang, an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but answered. "Ethan." It was Elise, voice small and hoarse. "I know I screwed up. I went too far. I didn't think it'd end like this. Mara's suspended. Mom's a mess. Dad won't talk to me. You always had the power to ruin us, and you did." I paused, then said flatly, "I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped letting you walk over me." Silence. Then, "Can you stop it?" "Drop the charges, I'll do anything." I remembered her words from the reunion. "We needed it more than you." I smiled coldly. "Number you made this mess. Live with it." I hung up. That night, I cooked dinner quietly, played an old college album, and sat on the porch with coffee, watching the world pass. For the first time since I was a kid, no one asked for money, guilt-tripped me, or made me feel like I only mattered if I gave something. I wasn't their ATM anymore. I was just me, and that was enough. I'm not your bank. I'm done. Peace is quiet in a way you don't expect. You think it'll be loud, celebratory like a victory song. But for me, peace was silence. No one calling me selfish. No texts begging because you're the only one doing well. Just silence. Beautiful, unbroken silence. 3 months have passed since I turned everything upside down. 3 months since the investigation started, since my family stared in shock as agents stormed their home. Reality has finally cracked their illusions. They say you can't choose your family. Maybe not. But you can choose how much of yourself you're willing to give to keep them happy. I'm done giving. The fallout came fast. Elise and Mara went into damage control. A lawyer contacted mine, offering to resolve this quietly. No apologies, just strategy. I told my lawyer, let it burn. A week later, Mom sent a letter, 10 pages, her handwriting still precise but shaky. She explained how things spiraled, how they never meant to hurt me, how she wished I'd see the bigger picture. "We thought you'd always be there," she wrote. "That's what good sons do." That line hit hard. Not because it hurt, but because it explained everything. Not that they were wrong, or that I didn't deserve it. Just that I was supposed to keep giving, quietly. I didn't reply. I didn't call. And I didn't feel guilty. I moved. New apartment, new state, no more surprise visits. Elise can't drop by unannounced. I changed my number. My boss noticed my focus and promoted me. I took it. It's amazing how much better you work when you're not secretly covering your sister's car payments or your mom's overdue bills. I sleep better, eat better, breathe better, because I'm not carrying 4 people who never say thank you. Then one morning, a letter arrived. No return address. Inside was A. Gooding, a $1,200 check, and a handwritten note. "I left him," it read. "You were right. I was scared. But seeing what you did gave me the courage to walk away too. This covers what you paid for Ellie. Tablet, rent, clothes. I know Mara didn't thank you, but I do. Thank you for showing me the way. Signed, Nora. I read it twice. Then I cried, not from pain or sorrow, but because someone in that family finally saw me as a person, not a wallet or a scapegoat. People ask if I regret it. The answer's simple, no. I regret waiting so long, every sleepless night, every missed trip, every tight budget I stuck to while they splurged and posted happy family moments online. I regret shrinking myself to make them feel big. I regret not saying, "You've gone too far." But standing up, burning it down, never. My therapist once asked, "Why did you wait so long to say no?" I said, "I thought saying no meant I didn't love them." She nodded. Saying no teaches people how to love you back. A few days ago, I ran into an old high school friend. She said, "I heard about your family." That's intense. I braced for judgment or pity, but she grinned. "Good for you. Most people never escape." I thanked her and walked away, feeling taller. Elise and Mara are still under investigation. Mara lost his job, last I heard. Elise's accounts are frozen. Mom's trying to save the house. Dad blames outside forces for tearing the family apart. They still don't get it. I didn't break anything. I just stopped pretending it was whole. Sometimes I replay that night. The table, Elise's laugh as I checked my account, Mara's smirk, Mom's dismissal. "You don't need that money." Now they know. That money was my life, my time, my health, my boundaries. They crossed them for years like it didn't matter. Now they're paying the price. I don't cheer their downfall, but I cheer myself for surviving, for leaving, for not going back, even when the silence felt heavy, even when guilt whispered, "Why so quiet?" That silence is freedom. If you're reading this, if you've been the responsible one, the good son or daughter who pays and stays silent, hear what I wish I'd heard. You don't have to burn yourself to warm others. You can stop, you can walk away. And when you do, you don't lose your family, you find yourself.